What's up everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at this 2022 Audi RS E-Tron GT. Big shout out and thank you to Audi Greenville for providing this car for today's video. Take a look at their website, linked down below. And the model that we're looking at today has the year one package, is finished in an Audi exclusive paint color, and has an MSRP at $168,000. The Audi RS E-Tron GT is a fully electric car with a 93.4 kilowatt hour battery. It's all-wheel drive with a front and rear motor, and it has a 2-speed transmission. It pumps out 637 horsepower with 612 pound-feet of torque. Curb weight's around 5,100 pounds, but it can still achieve 0 to 60 in 3 seconds flat, top out at 155 miles per hour, and even do the quarter mile time at 11 seconds at 127 miles per hour. You're going to expect range to be around 232 miles, and then the overall wheelbase is 114.2 inches with length at 196.4, width is 77.3 inches, and then height is 55.6 inches. The RS is also going to feature a set of carbon ceramic disc brakes in all 4 corners. Taking a look at the exterior styling now with this RS GT. This is a very sporty looking fully electric sedan with a lot of sharp lines as well as some bulges in some of the body panels to give it some width and a lot of character. We get some LED headlights up front with a really cool futuristic design, gloss black trim running through it. Then you can see down below we get carbon fiber all throughout the exterior with this intake duct on the farthest side to allow air to pass through the bumper. You can see the body color going through the entire lower section, and then in the center of the bumper it's all gloss black with a really cool hexagonal design. We get all of your parking sensors, some ducts and some fins. Then you can even see a forward facing camera and some safety sensors. We get the blacked out Audi logo up front as well, and you can see just how nicely everything comes together. It is a really sporty looking car. Moving to this front area, you can see the sharp line wrapping around it, going from all the way to the front, fading away towards the windshield, and it's nice and flat on top. There is a button on the side of the driver door that you can press to pop this open, and you get a pretty good amount of trunk storage space all up in front. This RS features a set of 21-inch wheels in all 4 corners. They're a really cool split 5-spoke design. Then they have these satin gray trim pieces, kind of looking like blades. We get gloss black as well as some machine silver, and the massive 10-piston brake calipers up front look fantastic, finished in red, contrasting with all the black as well as this body colored. We do have a charge port on each side that you can just tap the lower side, it'll open up, and you can see all the controls inside to plug it in. On the back side of this front fender, there's a duct to allow pressurized air to escape from this front fender. And you can see the really sharp lines cutting through the side profile. Has a lot of really good designs to it. Has a sloping rear end, kind of like an RS7 is going to look. And then we get a full carbon fiber roof, finished off in a very high gloss. I love the weave up top. We also get gloss black for all of the window trim. And then moving up front again, you can see the carbon fiber mirror caps with more gloss black trim. We get an LED turn signal as well as a side view camera, and then body colored for the door handles. The side profile on this car looks really sporty. You can see just how low it is. It does have an adjustable suspension to lower and raise the ride height. Right now we are in the lowest setting. As we make our way to the rear, you can see this really sharp line cutting over the rear wheels, and you can see just how wide the rear end looks. That same line cuts around, and then above these taillights, we get a really cool set of LED taillights that are connected through this LED bar. And then up top we get a blacked out Audi logo, some more black along the top, a spoiler that'll pop up at certain speeds. You can see E-Tron GT on the far right with the RS badge over on the left. And then this gets a massive rear diffuser finished off in gloss black along with carbon fiber. We got all of your parking sensors and backup camera, and it really does come together to look like a sporty car. So there's a good look at the exterior with some of the specifications for the E-Tron. This RS model is super cool. I really do love the way they look. It's pretty sporty with all the carbon and all the black. So you have Audi's key fob, exactly what you would expect. You can go ahead and lock it. It still does get all the same technology you would expect. You just grab the door handle, it automatically unlocks, and we can check out this interior. This particular spec gets a full black leather interior with red stitching and then some alcantara accents as well as silver and black. The door panel finished off in black. You get smooth leather up top with the stitching, all the alcantara in the center, and then more smooth leather on your padded armrest. We get a grab handle right here, window controls and mirror controls, memory seating, then your release handle. You do get this satin carbon fiber along the door panel as well. And then down below, you can see the trunk release. Moving inside, we get the RS badge on all this carbon fiber for the door sill. And then power controls are on the left side of the seat. You can see the controls up front. You can press this to extend and retract this leg rest. But you get all the really nice smooth black leather, perforated leather all in the center with a really nice hexagonal shape for all the stitching, finished off in red. You can see the bolsters, more of the stitching. You even get RS up on top, nice stitching on the headrest, as well as a set of red seat belts. Spinning around, we get a flat bottom design for the Alcantara steering wheel with your RS badge and some more red stitching. And then now inside this E-Tron, keeping my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. All the electronics are going to turn right and on. You can hear a few little noises in the car. Climate control will turn on. We do get a full LCD digital gauge cluster. There's a few controls for it on this left side of the steering wheel. We have the OK button, a scroller, as well as a view icon. If you scroll on the left side, you can see up and down. We have all sorts of different information that'll come up as you would expect in any normal car. Hitting the Windows button on the far left, you can scroll through and see a few more things that you can adjust. You can reduce the display to be very simple. And there's also the view icon you can adjust to get a little bit of a different design for this gauge cluster, as you can see. Taking a look at the steering wheel now, you can see your Audi logo in the center, Bluetooth and audio over on the right side, and then we get a set of paddle shifters. Now what these do when you hit them left and right, it'll actually just adjust the charge over on this left side of how much it's going to do for the percentage. So a very neat integration there. On the left side, we have the turn signal stock, and on the right, we have all of your windshield wipers. On the left of the steering wheel, we have all of your headlight controls, one of the air vents, all this really nice carbon fiber. You can see the Alcantara along the dashboard with all the stitching. And then more of this gloss black. You can see E-Tron and all the carbon fiber along the dashboard. Moving to the center, we have the touchscreen display system. Just like you would expect in any Audi, you can easily scroll left and right, see all sorts of different information. We have the home icon right there. We can also go through the shortcuts on the left side to see all sorts of different things. You even have your phone integration, then your navigation will pop up as well. Very snappy to use. And then down below, if we go ahead and push it forward into reverse, backup camera pops up on the left with a top down on the right, and we do get the 360 camera view just like you would expect. And I really like how it even shows the carbon fiber roof. You can exit out of there. We can also just press the P going back into park. Beneath the screen, we have all of your climate controls. You can easily adjust your airflow, fan speed, your zones, pretty much what you would expect in any Audi. You can adjust the center one, dual zone temperature, heated and cooled seats. You can easily adjust those two icons. We have the automatic and recirc. Then we have air vents down below, and then a bunch of toggles down here as well. You can see your drive mode select. Just toggling this, it comes up on the screen with a few different modes. You can scroll through them. It's also going to raise and lower the suspension as you cycle through. And then along with that, we have your traction control icon, hazards, shortcut to your parking and steering, and then a screen on off. We get that start button, your smart park, your gear selector, along with some storage on the right. Then your radio controls are right here, and the volume is just like on an old iPod. You just scroll this left and right, and it will adjust the volume. We get some of this piano black in the center with more Alcantara and stitching, some smooth leather for your armrest, and then you open that up, and you get a pretty good amount of space in here. Wireless phone charging is on this side. You just slide your phone right into this slot. And if we take a look at the glove box now, it has a pretty good amount of space. It's a very large bucket in here. And then one last look at this interior. Really nice and futuristic looking from Audi. It's kind of what you would expect an Audi to look like. However, this one is just taken up a notch to be extremely sporty. Very premium interior with all the use of materials. And while we don't get a sunroof since we have the carbon fiber roof, we do get a full Alcantara roof, which just looks fantastic up here. Even the sun visors are Alcantara, and we get our frameless mirror and dome lights. And then moving to the rear seat space, if I open up the door, these are all pillarless doors, so they have a really sporty design. We get all the same materials along this door panel with the leather and Alcantara. You even get carbon fiber, all the same stitching, large bolsters, and then all the red accents as well. We even get climate controls right in the center with heated seats, and you can see how large those vents are. And then in the center, you can grab this. We get a nice armrest and two cup holders. All right, so sitting now in the back of this E-Tron, this is actually a pretty comfortable sedan to be in. While it has that sloping rear end, so it's really aggressive and performance oriented, like the way that's designed, it's actually not bad. I'm 5'11", almost touching the ceiling, not quite. With the seat set at my height though, I have plenty of knee room, a good armrest on the left side, same with the center, and it's not too tight feeling back here for being kind of on the smaller end back here. We do get some grab handles and LED lights on top, and even a hook. And then taking a look at the trunk storage space, you can use the button on the key fob, the one on the interior, or just tap the button on the back. It'll automatically open up. We get a pretty good amount of storage space in here, as you can see. Really tall ceiling and pretty squared off. We get a little cubby on the left with a storage net, and then a cubby on the right side. All the charging equipment is right in the center, and you can see how my camera bag fits in here with no issues. Up top, you can even pull this strap, and we get hooks that'll pop out. And then after manually grabbing the rear seats to fold them down, you can see just how much more storage space you're gonna get in this E-Tron. They fold nice and flat, still giving you plenty of storage up in front, and you get a pretty large opening going into the trunk to make this a very practical electric car. All right, so we are now setting off in this E-Tron. It is really, really quick. And it handles really good. You got, of course, a really low center of gravity. I'm in the dynamic mode right now, just to feel out the most performance that this car has to offer. It's still really smooth. I wouldn't say there's a crazy difference between the drive modes. I mean, throttle response is instant. You just feel all that power and all that torque as soon as you touch the accelerator pedal. It's incredible how quick it is. But when you do tone it down into the efficiency mode, which should be the most conservative, biggest thing I noticed, you don't hear that sound anymore. It's a lot quieter. They make the really cool, like futuristic electronic noise, kind of like what the Porsche Taycan did. It's neat to hear all of those sounds in this car, but this one's just a lot more quiet, a little bit toned down. If we go ahead and get back up to speed, still in efficient mode, it's still just as quick as it was in the sport mode. All right, maybe it pulls a little bit less, so it's not crazy. But normal driving now in this normal relaxed mode, it is so comfortable and quiet. It feels like an Audi. And of course, you know, this is a high-end car. It's a pretty pricey vehicle. You know, base price is around the $100,000 mark regardless. So it's gonna feel like a nice car. And when you're in it, you just feel like you're in something super refined. Really good view out of the front windshield. Mirrors all do a great job. This one's a little small. Rear visibility in the center is kind of tight with that tiny window back there, but it's not too bad given the shape of it and everything. I do love how you can see the rear corners of the car, just how wide it is. Materials, I mean, this is a beautiful place to be. You know you're in something that is above and beyond with a car like this. It really does drive really comfortably. Steering is super soft, just super lightweight. It's an easy car to drive. And then if we go ahead, we'll just go right into dynamic mode. We'll tone it up a little bit. Acceleration is pretty nuts in this. It really does kind of rip your face off. Whew. 10 to 50 without even thinking. It really is quick, but pretty cool the way it all works. I think Audi did a good job piecing this together to make you have a fun electric car. You know, electric cars are a little boring, I would say, but this one seems to really have that fun factor. So I like when you put it all the way in the minus section, you can feel it a little bit more when you let off the accelerator. It'll kind of brake the car for you. But this thing is really sweet. Full speed ahead. It does rocket you out. That is really, really cool. All right, so my perspective now with the Audi E-Tron, this RS GT. One thing with the electric cars, the instant power is just nuts. Which drive mode was that? So that's dynamic. I like the sound you kind of hear too. It's like that futuristic sound. It's just so cool the way it is. It's unlike what you're gonna hear in other electric cars. So I like how Audi gives you the fun. And it's funny, a year or two ago, I drove the Porsche Taycan when that car came out, and I really liked it. I'm not an electric car fan. I like performance, I like engines, but the Taycan was the first electric car that I drove that was actually fun and cool. And at that time, I can probably find a clip of me saying it. I said, I wish Audi made a version of this, a little bit more affordable, kind of a baby version. This is what this car is. This isn't crazy expensive. The year one edition, I mean, this is crazy with every single ridiculous option. Very nice spec, obviously, but you can get a more simple version for not a crazy price for what you get. And when you drive it, you know, if we tone it back down into comfort mode, the suspension softens up. It's a relaxing car to drive, and I'm really enjoying just cruising in it. You get pretty good range to where you can just enjoy driving it, go to work and back, do what you need to do. You got plenty of space. and it's a nice car. There's no loose ends. The fit and finish is what you would expect on a six-figure Audi. And it even has the fun factor, which for me is just a big thing. You know, I like fun cars, and this car, when you drive it, you just want to zip around. You want to do things in it that, you know, most EV cars aren't going to let you do. And you get up to some speed again, it's just insane how quick this car is. And the carbon ceramics, oh my goodness. What can this car not do, to be honest? Honest opinions, I don't really have any complaints. I think if you're looking for that performance, fun EV car, I think this is the best way to go. The Porsche is amazing. It's just a lot more money. It's a little bit faster feeling, I would say, but I don't think the interior is any nicer. I think this interior is a little bit nicer. It seems a little bit more normal, a little bit easier to use, and it feels a little bit more roomy. I don't know if it actually is more roomy, but you know, we got massaging seats, heated and ventilated. You have all the luxury options that you would expect in any type of car like this. You know, there's nothing you're missing in this car, and the fact that the pricing isn't too crazy for what it is. I mean, still, you know, $100,000, not exactly the cheapest thing in the world, you know, but you got everything you're gonna want. And I'm enjoying it, I really am. We'll get up to some speed again. It's just so darn quick. Oh, that's so cool. I do like, now I'm getting more used to the way the paddles work and everything. I wish they did more than just adjust that. But basically when you let off the brake, it pulls you a little bit. When you're into there's three modes. The most right mode, it doesn't do it at all. It's not that aggressive either on the far left one. I kind of would leave it in the far left just to do the most regenerating and just, you know, have it help you braking a little bit. But it's cool, it really is cool. I think it looks great. I like how you still get a front trunk up there along with the back, so it's as usable as you could get. I don't have any complaints. This thing is a cool electric car. If I genuinely had to buy one with my own money, I would be buying this one, absolutely. But I think I'd get this over the Porsche because you pretty much get the same thing for a lot less. All the other EVs to me are just boring. This one feels like a nice car. It's fast and it's fun, and it looks really, really cool. So I think that's it then for this 2022 e-tron. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content. And then big shout out and thank you to Audi Greenville for providing this car for today's video. Take a look at their website linked below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.